Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great afternoon. I wanted to get on here because I told you I was slowly doing some Democratic candidate stars little by little, one by one. So before I bring you the 2020 election thing that's going to go on, I'm going to do not Steve. Oh boy, I have a lot of names in my head right now. Pete Buttigieg. I hope I'm saying his name right. And so I went and got his birthday, and I went and ran his stars. And I just posted the article in my website, and I shared it to my Facebook page. But I wanted to just go over his stars for a little bit. Um, Politics is one of my least favorite things to do because, as you know, we live in a world or a country right now that is incredibly divided, and a lot of people aren't going to like what I'm about ready to say, I guess. So I went into this looking deeply into his stars, and what I'm going to say about him, it does not mean he is a bad person in any sense of the way. There is just some underlying factors that I have noticed. And so here we go. Now, Pete Buttigieg was born on January 19th, 1982, and this makes him a Capricorn. And this is the sign that rules government and politics in a great many ways. Many Capricorns go on to become great politicians and great political leaders. Let's take a look at his chart. And if you go to my website, astrologywitch.com, you will be able to see the newsletter with the chart. I'm probably going to change the thumbnail on this and use his star chart instead of my face. I didn't think about doing that before I got on here, but oh well. Anyway, let's go on. If you look at his chart, and you can go to my website and get it if you want to look at it, his natal dragon's tail is in the sign of Capricorn, right on his first house. This is your soul's purpose. This is your karmic residue, too, in some way. When you have a dragon's tail there on your first house, this is karmic residue. And the head is in Cancer, right in his seventh house. This is the house of marriage, contracts, partnerships. Now, he is the darling of the Democratic Party and their favored candidate, okay? The universal energy has been in these two signs since November of 2018, and it's going to be there till May 5th of 2020. Then it shifts. So he has had a lot of luck. He's been riding the head of this dragon in his seventh house. This is partnerships. This is contracts. I do believe he's married. So he has a great marriage, stable home life, okay? And he has been riding a lot of luck. It's the luck wave. Anybody who's a Cancer, there has been some luck in a lot of Cancers' lives, okay? He's been blessed for the last 14 months with good luck, major political opportunities, and success in his business dealings. However, as an ancient astrologer, I do pick my candidates by their stars. I know that sounds crazy, but I do. And you never, ever want to elect a president with a dragon's tail in Capricorn, right on Capricorn. Yikes. I'm going to give you a perfect example of a former political figure that had a dragon's tail in Capricorn. Okay, these two, the person I'm getting ready to say is nothing like Buttigieg in any sense of the way. Just there's a dragon tail similarity. Okay, perfect example of this is Sarah Palin. She had a dragon's tail in Capricorn. And because Senator McCain picked someone with stars not blessed to be in politics, let alone be honest and be blessed to politically succeed, well, we know how it went. The rest is all history, right? You never elect someone with a dragon's tail in Capricorn. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. That's not where I'm going with this. What I'm saying is, okay, Buttigieg is gay. We have a lot of people in this country that are homophobes, okay? And if he was to be elected, he would probably get killed solely because of his sexual orientation, because that's how whacked out the United States of America is right now. But when you pick your running mate with negative stars like that, just like Sarah Palin's, even though she, I think, is she's either a Leo or an Aquarius, but she has a dragon's tail in Capricorn. There are other factors with Sarah Palin's stars that are not like Buttigieg's, but what I'm saying is you never ever elect a president with a dragon's tail in Capricorn. It's just not good. Where else? Where did I? Now, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that Palin and Buttigieg are even remotely the same, because they are not. But they, like they said, they share the same dragon's tail. And people with a South Node in Capricorn who do go into politics will risk many chances of being either assassinated, seen as negative in the public eye. All kinds of horrible things can happen to these people. And since Capricorn does rule corporations, it rules government, it rules politics, it's snobbery, it's the use and abuse mantra, and it's positive, it's I use, and it's negative, it's I abuse. They have no problem taking lobbyist money from the big farms, the banking industry, and money in general, even if it's not for the greater good of the people, but to empower themselves. It's all about power and control. Now, I'm not saying that. One thing I do when I counsel my clients is this, okay? When you get a full life reading from me and a soul's reading, I sit down with you and I read you your positives and your negatives from your dragon head and tail. And I tell my client personally, you know your own self quite well. You have to make the assessment of the negatives. Am I this? Am I that? And if you can answer honestly, because the only one you're deceiving is yourself if you're not open and honest with yourself about your own stars. So you have to come at me honestly and say, yes, I'm this. Yes, I'm that. No, I'm not that. If you can answer no to a majority of your characteristics of your dragon tail, then you are doing well. You are evolving into a soul with higher consciousness. You are evolving into a soul that should be swimming to the light, swimming to their dragon's head, to the crown of success, to the wheel of fortune, and not living in their past life residue and negativity. I'm not saying he would make a bad president. What I'm saying is, because, how do I say this? And someone's going to shoot his ass because he's gay. That's how I see it. I don't know how else to put it. We have people in this country that hate gays, and they hate this and they hate that, and there's so much hatred and bigotry. It's just the way it is right now in the world. I'm hoping in time it will change. I don't see that coming anytime soon. Okay, so I don't want to get anyone pissed off about, what I'm saying. I'm just looking at his stars. I'm not saying he is all of these characteristics, but I can tell you this because, okay, hello, Kitty. I will tell you this because I am dabbling in the realm of politics, and I am dabbling in ancient astrology, that from looking at his stars and what I have heard through the news media, he's being funded by like billionaires, and they're just giving him money. So he has no problem being bought out by big pharmaceuticals, lobbyists, any kind of insurance companies, things like. He has no problem being given money to keep going. He is a corporate Democrat. Okay. Like I said, it's all about power and control. as I took a closer look at his stars, and I said, yes, he's the darling of the Democratic Party. He is a big supporter of the LGBTQ community. But like under those layers, there's layers of him. There is a racist under there. He may be for gay people, but he don't like black people. I can tell you that right now. He's not very fond of black people. I know some of you are going to be pissed with me, and that's okay. Underneath it all, I see the layers of him, though. And I don't give a damn what political party he's with. I will call them out as I see them, Democrat or Republican. There is a side to him that is very cold and calculated. And he may not have any problem using and abusing others to get where he wants. I've said this earlier, and I say it again. This is also due to the moon. He has a moon in Scorpio, okay? Anytime you're dealing with Scorpio moons, not all, but a vast majority of them, this is a very intense placement, and they probably have seen a lot of dramatic things in their lifetime. Now, since his moon is stationed on his 11th house of friends, he has probably lost some friends through the years. I believe he was in the military, so he probably lost some friends there. I could be wrong on the military part. Don't quote me. Like I said, I don't sit here all day like some people and what's the word I'm looking for? Enamored with these politicians. I don't sit here all day, so I don't know his life. I don't know what he's been through. I just know that he's a married gay man from Indiana, running for president, who used to be the mayor. But since his moon is in the 11th house, he has probably seen some tragedy in his lifetime, either through his personal life with his parents or through friends, whether that's victims of war or sickness or whatever. But that's that. On a more positive note, with his dragon's head in Cancer, I do see a kind and caring and loving soul towards his family. He's very kind, caring, and gracious when it comes to his family, as most dragon head in Cancer people are. I don't care what sign you are. If you have a dragon's head in Cancer, you are going to be very loving and kind towards your family. You usually have a flair for being a good cook. These people do have whether Buttigieg knows this or not, if he can't make it in politics, I definitely recommend him getting into real estate. And these people know how to keep a beautiful home. So I'm sure presidential candidate Buttigieg has a very lovely, lovely home. But as for President of the United States, I won't be voting for him. And that's my choice. Everyone out there has a choice. And don't let me sway you either way. I'm just reading you his stars. I could go into a more in-depth analysis here of them, but I'm not. And a few things that I did not put in this newsletter that I might add in as I'm talking here. He is riding the wave right now with the dragon's head in Cancer. And hold on a minute. I'm sorry. He is riding the wave right now with this dragon's head in Cancer, and that is about to change for him, okay? It's going to shift into a Gemini-Sagittarius axis come May, and that's going to change everything for this candidate. His health and his service to the world will improve, and there is a high possibility that he could be the running mate. Do I think he could beat Trump? Hell no. Buttigieg could not beat Trump. But I think he is the chosen one for the corporate Democratic Party. And I do believe that in about 5 to 10 years from now, you're going to see an implosion of both the DNC and the GOP. They're going to break up into different factions, just like you've got, libertarians, and you've got, I guess, Bernie's a democratic socialist. that's going to break up into bigger factions, because there are a lot of people out there who are progressive that don't want to be affiliated with the Democratic Party, and vice versa. There are people who are Republicans and steer to more conservative, don't want to be affiliated with the Republican Party. So you're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years a big shift in things, especially when Pluto leaves Capricorn and moves into Aquarius. That isn't until 2023. Let's worry about Saturn. Saturn's going to be moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius much sooner, March of 2020. That's the planet you really want to look at. That's going to shift and change things around a great deal too. It might benefit Buttigieg in some ways, since Saturn's going to be moving into a second house. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. Saturn rules politics. It's corporate money. So he just might get in as the running mate, but it won't be because of the people's will. It will be because of the corporate will, if that makes any sense to any of you out there. I don't know if it does. I used to work for a political radio station years ago. I was a call screener, so I know how the world of politics works. And even though the radio station I worked at was incredibly progressive, as a call screener, I would throw those conservative callers on the air, because it would be a very boring radio show if there were two liberals sitting there yakking away about things. You know, it does. You need a diversion. You need to throw something in there, and it makes for good ratings. I get how the political and radio market works. I get why Rush Limbaugh did and said the things he said. He was not just answering to a certain political party, but it boosts ratings. I get it, but that still doesn't give him. That's still no excuse. But what I'm trying to say here is, I do have a very strong feeling that Buttigieg might be the Democratic running mate, or not running mate, but candidate. I'm hoping not, because he will probably not be a very good service to this world and to the United States. He will be backed by corporate money. And if you want another Hillary Clinton in office, then by all means go ahead and vote for Buttigieg. Okay. And I know there's a lot of people that loved Hillary, but Hillary did some dirty, dirty things. So does Trump. Not saying, let's face it, most politicians, I would make a terrible politician because I'm too brutally honest, and it would never work. But those are the stars and fate of Buttigieg. Now, like I said, when this dragon energy shifts, it's going to be affecting his 12th house of his subconscious mind. And I think come May, Capricorns are going to be, even though the dragon's been riding them, this is an even worse place for a Capricorn, is to sit there with that dragon tail sitting in your subconscious mind. That is not a place you want to ride the tail. Not good. As they here in Salinas, no bueno. No good. Anyway, if you guys have any questions about this new broadcast, or more questions about candidate Buttigieg, do not hesitate to message me, astrologywitch.com or astrologywitch22@gmail. I will try and get back on here sometime tomorrow or the next day and either do Election Day 2020 or another candidate. If there's a candidate out there that you'd like me to run their stars, let me know. I will do it for you. Anyway, wishing all of you a happy Thursday. It is Jupiter Day, so get out there and make magic happen. And I will see you guys soon. Ciao.